Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a speed build. So I decided to do I needed to do a new house for my current legacy challenge heirs, or generation I should say, because they're not actually an heir because they're generation 1. So if you didn't catch any of my legacy challenges, it's not really that important for the speed build because obviously the speed build should stand out on its own. But basically my family... my sim, Aoife Kavanagh, she had a child with her wife Lilith, baby Ginny. And I called her Ginny because basically I'm doing this Weasley inheritance thing. It's really weird. So basically they just all have to be ginger. I don't know why I did it like that. I just did. Don't judge me. But yeah, so they also did something weird last episode, and that could kind of afford me to build whatever I want. If you look in the bottom the bottom left corner of this screen, you will see over 1 million simoleons. That's because my family won the lottery. Lilith Pleasant won the lottery for us, which is great, except for the fact that I have no idea what to do now that I've got all this money. I think it kind of makes it a bit boring that I'm not aiming to make a lot of money, if that makes sense. It was a rags to riches to legacy challenge. Well, I can officially say that the rags to riches thing has happened. I kind of wish I was still doing that. I was doing that challenge, is it the Million Simoleon challenge or whatever it's called? I don't know because I've actually never played it because I just don't want to. Because having a lot of money, I don't know if you knew this about The Sims, but having a lot of money in The Sims is actually quite boring. But anyway, I do need to actually talk about the build. As you can see, it is like chopping up every now and then. That's because even when I sped up the build, it had 45 minutes worth of footage. As you can see from the timestamp on this video, we don't have 45 minutes worth of episode because, quite frankly, I cannot talk for that long, and you guys can probably not listen to my voice for that long either. But as you can see, I've done quite a bit on the roofing. I did struggle a bit on the roofing as well. Like, I cut out a lot of footage of me like fiddling about, especially with the roofing over the porch. I just struggled to make it look nice. I did like different things. I tried making an asymmetrical roof and all that. It just didn't look right, so it's kind of just got that on it now. And trying to pair it up with that conservatory roof as well was a bit hard because I'm a bit like of a stickler for detail, so I don't like any clipping. But obviously it's kind of like that kind of thing. You can't really avoid the clipping. But I did it in the end, and I did this whole wraparound thing as well on the roof that I actually quite enjoy. I've never tried it before, and I just kind of did it on a whim. I'm quite happy I did it. As you can see, I'm also building this world. I started the challenge on Potter's Splay in, or as Little Simsy calls it, Potter's Sleigh in Willow Creek. I did that just because it's kind of like the go-to starter house on Potter's Splay for a legacy challenge because it or a rags to riches challenge because it just has a lot of materials around it. I think it's a very good place to start. Obviously we don't need all those materials around us now because we are rich, so to kind of mix with the farmer aesthetic of this family, I decided you know what, heck it, let's just go to Hindenburg. I was gonna say Hindenburg, Henford on Bagley. I got the word out in the end. So I did that, and it's kind of like this farmhouse property. There aren't any chickens or anything like that, but I do later go on to build a conservatory because one of Aoife's biggest hobbies is gardening, because that's kind of how she made her money. Along with painting, she's now level 10 of the painting skill, which is quite cool. I did a little pond out front as well, and it surprised me by looking actually nice because I'm never really good at making ponds because I'm not good at not making it like have all those sharp edges. Obviously, I put the log on there for the turtles to bathe on and went back in so I could allow it as soon as possible so I don't forget. I did try to put a crocodile in there at one point, but I took the crocodile out because I thought it was a bit weird. Skipping back to the actual house itself, I move on to the foundations. Foundations, nothing to write home about. I always use that foundation at the moment because I just think it looks nice, okay? And then I knew I wanted brick on the outside because it's a farmhouse, but I struggled with what kind of brick. In the end, the one from City Living, I think, actually works quite well for me, instead of, because I wanted like that red one because I kind of wanted it to look like an old actual farmhouse or like a factory farm, if that makes sense, like converted, not like ready built. So I also put a different kind of wallpaper on the conservatory area because I wanted to look like a brand new add-on. And I've been doing that in a lot of my houses, even in my personal builds at the moment. I've been trying to like add that extra conservatory element because I just like a conservatory. I don't know about you, but My granny had a conservatory built when I was a teenager, and you know what? That conservatory looked lovely, and the whole influence of the house is kind of built on my granny because, I mean, we don't live in a rural area as such. It's quite we live quite close to Birmingham. We're one of the places that a lot of people in Birmingham live to commute. So we're quite built up, and we've got like a lot of factories around here. But it's also, it used to be a farming town. And we were famous for like fishing wire and all that. It's quite cool. So I kind of and the red brick. This whole area where I live in the West Midlands, we're known for our red mud. So every house in my neck of the woods kind of has that red brick. Actually, it's kind of a fascination with mine to like go to new places. Like I remember going to Liverpool once, and I was like, oh my god, the bricks are brown, and I just wouldn't stop going on about the bricks in Liverpool. I was there because in university I'd won a competition with my group to like do the best idea for a screenplay, and so we were having a look around Lime Studios there. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're basically the people who do who film Hollyoaks in Liverpool, even though it's set in Chelsea, which is weird. And they also did House of Anubis, I think, and even Towie, but Hollyoaks is filmed on set. It's actually really amazing because like the outside of the set looks like because the set is also the office building, so you'd go down a hallway that's like made to look like a school because they'd film it, obviously. You go through one of the rooms that's a classroom, and it actually turns out to be an office instead, like just a regular office. It's really fascinating, like the way they use that space. And I was fascinated when I went in there as well, because obviously they had like some facades to like look like Chelsea, and they'd actually imported brick from there, and everyone was making fun of, like everyone in my group in that, because it was a group project, and to be honest, most of them did the work, so it was kind of like they were better than me, but that's another thing. But everyone in the group kind of made fun of me just because of how fascinated I was with the brick. But bricks are awesome. Anyway, back to the build. As you can see, I am kind of going around at the moment and just putting dirt around the edges. I do that because I like the way it looks. I never really noticed I did it until Plumbella pointed out that Sims like to do it as well. And I'm like, good on you, Sims team. You're actually doing something good. And again, it's that realism, because obviously you're not going to get a lot of sunlight in there for the grass seeds to be planted and that. So of course you're not going to have that sunlight there to help them grow. Anyway, we're to the inside now, and I struggled a bit with the conservatory actually. I kind of cut it all out, but at first I did try to make it into a kitchen. I realised I did that in a lot of my builds, because I did that on my first speedrun on the channel, the eco Christmas themed build that I had to make around Halloween time. It was a whole thing for me. I don't know if you can tell, but I am one of those girls who love Halloween. I'm not actually a goth. I dress in black sometimes, but this whole outfit is actually more of a granny outfit. I tend to wear granny outfits, as you can see from my first video with my face on. Well, my first proper video with my face on, the last episode, my Legacy Challenge anyway. I wear a lot of pink usually, but sometimes I wear black because I feel like it, and you know, I shouldn't have to be constricted to one certain kind of style, you know? Anyway, talking about the living room, I struggled with a lot of the furniture put in there because I'm not so used to building in a big space. I tried to make my builds like as more realistic to home as possible and what I'm used to, and I'm used to smaller houses most of the time. I'm from a working class family. I'm a working class gal, right? I don't sound like it sometimes. I sound a bit posh, but that's just because I lived in Torquay for a while and they all sound posh there. Even though neighbouring places sound a bit like farmers, and I like sounding like farmers because it makes me sound like my dad Hagrid. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I struggled to fill up that conservatory space, so I kind of made it purposely light an area, I suppose, and just kind of kept things to the edges, other than like the sofa in the middle and like the TV on the edges. But I made all the furniture kind of like whitish coloured anyway, just again to sell into that conservatory space. I mean, I think it's kind of a sin to put darker furniture in a conservatory, even though personally I like the darker wood styles. I like the dark academia kind of style. I just think it looks so nice. I'm actually planning to decorate my bedroom at some point, and I kind of want to get like a 1920s kind of feel to it, like Art Deco. I love Art Deco style. But yeah, I don't really know what else I can say about this conservatory, to be honest. It's just, I put a little table there because I figured people could sit there, or kids could like study there or something like that. I also tried to put like some stuff from the old house in there because I didn't want to like buy completely new, even though we were over 1 million simoleons at this point. It's, you know, waste not, want not, you know. So obviously I kept like the easel, and I kept some paintings that my sim had made, and I put that over the table. We're past that now, but I was working up to that when we left the angle. If you look closer, you can see it as it moves around. I also put like a little photo of Aoife and Lilith together, and that little horse thing that you just saw me put on the On the dresser, that was given to us by Bella Goff, and Bella, I don't know if you know this, but in this challenge, Bella is kind of my Sims bestie. She keeps on coming round to our house to cry at the grave we have there, because someone thought that he could use our friendship to get fame after we started to get more famous because he was becoming a good painter. But yeah, so I kept that painting space in the corner of the conservatory as well, because I wanted to, like, I mean, if you're painting, like, stereotypes say that you're gonna have to kind of, like, you gotta paint in a nice, light, airy space, you know? Yeah, I just, like, so I went around and put some more clutter in there, and I love that little gnome statue. I never use it, but I love the little gnome with the sunflowers and that on. It's so cute. But yeah, I struggle to find clutter to put in there, because I'm not, like, I build, but I don't build a lot, if that makes sense, because I build a house and then I just ignore it, so I don't actually know where everything is. But yeah, I think it's quite a nice space anyway. I think it looks a bit like an old lady could live there. And a lot of my builds, again, a lot of my builds have, like, kind of, like, old lady vibes, because I have an old lady vibe. And it's not my fault, okay? I never used to be like an old lady. I never used to dress, like, in more conservative granny-ish clothes. Fashionable, but conservative, you know? But my best friend's kind of, like, she dresses like that as well, so I kind of stole it from her, I suppose you could say. In the end, I ended up shortening the conservatory by 1 as well, just so it doesn't look, like, quite so contrived and, like, just split up. I like it to be, like, more of a natural flow between the spaces and that. The floor plan was a bit weird for this place as well. I don't know why I did it, to be honest. I just thought I needed to utilise the space properly, and bigger spaces usually are better with, like, wide open spaces. But it's not really the most realistic thing in the world for, like, a British farmhouse style like I was making here. Because I don't know if you know about us, but we don't tend to have, like, those open floor plans like you get in a more Americanized place. I love open floor plans, don't get me wrong. I think they're gorgeous, but we tend to have, like, doors between everything. So in a realistic world, there'd be a door between the kitchen, between the dining room, between the conservatory and all that, instead of, like, all of them flowing into one another. That's just because we well, it gets quite chilly here, and our houses are built to, like, kind of last the chill and last the damp and that. So we need to have, like, those doors that we can open and close to keep the drafts out. As my granddad, actually, his saying used to be, like, he used to always go, door. And that was, like, one of my fondest memories of him, because he was always yelling at us to close the door. It was quite cute. Yeah, so again, I went for the country style kitchen, and I used the same counters really as I did in the old place as well. I like the country counters, okay? I like the cottage living counters. I think they're pretty. They've got some really nice swatches on them. To be honest, I think the cottage living swatches are a bit washed out though. I would have liked some red brick with my outside swatches and that, so I didn't have to utilise some weird ones from, like, Dine Out and that for this place. But the dark woods of, like, the columns, you can see I just moved around and all that, and the wooden counters are great. I just wish we had, like, some more darker swatches for other wallpapers. I also put a little pantry space in there. I wasn't sure at first what to put in that little cubby. I didn't even know whether I wanted that little cubby there or not, but I thought I'd keep that cubby because I like a nice cubby, and so I made a pantry there. It was either there or a laundry room, but I put laundry in way too many of my own builds, and I've got to stop doing that because I hate doing laundry in The Sims. Because I was playing a personal challenge, a personal game a few weeks ago, and I'd built a nice big house in Strangerville for my Sims to live in. It matched the vibes of everywhere else. It was, like, a gorgeous floor plan and all that. Had a laundry room in the kitchen, and it was working well, but I kept on forgetting to empty the lint filters. Well, my Sim comes home one day, and she watches her wife putting the laundry in, and her wife burst into flames. The laundry set her wife on fire and killed her. So of course this Sim, like, gets really depressed. She ends up eating one of the fruits from Strangeville. She ends up getting possessed, and then for the rest of the playthrough she just kept on getting periodically possessed at, like, 1 a.m. It was really creepy but really fun, because I never really got to play with like, the possessions before, because it's hard to get possessed in Strangeville, I find. As you can see on the upper cabinets, I kind of struggled a bit, and in the end I ended up using, for the upper cabinets, a base game cabinet instead of the country kitchen, not the country kitchen ones, that's the kit, instead of the cottage living ones, because I just don't like the upper cabinets. I don't like we have to have like that fabric, because it just doesn't make sense why we'd have fabric on the top but not on the bottom. I mean, it would make more sense to have fabric on the bottom swatches than the top, if that makes sense as well. I also did a nice long island in there as well, and usually I don't actually have that much room to put an island in, because again I like making smaller builds. And I did use the cottage living counters from that. I did have to like deal with the curtains in that though. I just tried to find a way to extend that as well without making it like an extra tile. But yeah, I had to like deal with the yellow curtains in that, and so I kind of like embraced it for the rest of the kitchen, if that makes sense. Like I changed the oven and that to a yellow as well, so it's kind of like a yellow or brown theme. It wasn't what I wanted to do. I'd rather have like blue or green in there with the dark wood than yellow personally, but that's just my taste. Again, I like the Art Deco kind of style, and Buttercup yellow doesn't really fit that in my opinion. It just doesn't look as distinguished. Again, I did play around with the clutter, but I did actually cut a lot of that off. Just because, again, we're trying to save time here. You don't want to watch me talk for 45 minutes. I mean, I don't want to talk for 45 minutes myself, so it's one of those. I'm surprised about how long I've lasted as well talking, because, like, I've taken 2 breaks so far to, like, just take a sip of my drink. I have got an energy drink in front of me because I can't live without my caffeine. Which it's really bad, I gotta stop, but it's so tasty. And the last time I tried to make an iced coffee at home, it turned into disaster. So, yeah. I struggled a lot with the wallpaper around there as well. I ended up trying, like, a billion different ones, and I had to keep, like, the dark wood swatches in there as well, because, again, like, I can't have mismatching wood in any of my homes. If I choose a wood, I have to stick with it. Obviously, the conservatory is different, and that kind of lends to the add-on aesthetic as well, because it's a different area, so it's kind of like use different build materials. I figure, like, I picture this farmhouse as having been built like over 100 years ago. It's a really old building, and it's just been converted on the inside, if that makes sense, to seat a family. I also struggled with like the bathroom, because it's my opinion that bathrooms shouldn't take a lot of space, especially when you don't need it. And I actually hate in real life bathrooms that are like down, like a big bathroom downstairs away from everything, that has like an actual bath in as well. It's not just a toilet. So I tried to use the space as much as possible, but I needed to use a lot of space in the bathroom. I couldn't like make it a really small one, because I need to use a lot of space because it's quite a big house, and I hate having empty space anywhere in a house. I like it cluttered. The more encroaching on like the more dark shapes on the edges of my vision, the happier I am. Personally, it's a sensory overload thing. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know why I'm taking so long in this bathroom as well. Like, I took so long to choose the mirrors. I mean, Plumbella and Lil Simsy are right and all that, because they are correct in saying that bathrooms should not take that long. I ended up shortening that cubby space as well, but I also didn't want to like extend the bathroom, so I like doing this little tricky little room, and then you just press the platform button until it goes all the way up, and that kind of like gives a blocked off area that like you can't access, and like it's not just when you like have walls down or anything like that, it's not just gonna pop out there and look weird. I ended up putting like this contrived rug in the middle of the floor. I only did that again because I don't like big spaces. Like big lengths of floor, not my style. Moving on to the upstairs. You'll actually see me go up and downstairs, because I do things as they come to my mind, and sometimes they don't come to my mind until later. I had to fix the roofs a bit, but that was like, I cut most of that out because it wasn't interesting. It was just clipping, and everyone hates the clipping, but what can I do? I to be honest, I just borrowed most of the same things that were in the other bathrooms. All the bathrooms are like matching, because quite frankly, again, you shouldn't put too much effort into your bathrooms. I mean, why? As long as it's functional, it's not falling apart, a bathroom's good, you know, like, you don't tend to spend most of your time there. Well, I had to spend several hours in a bathroom once because my door had locked itself, my bedroom door, when I lived in student accommodation, and I had to call, luckily I had my phone with me, I had to call my landlord to come and fix the door and unlock it. But the problem was I had to hide in the bathroom that entire time, because I just ran to the toilet. It was summer, so there was like no one else staying around in my house other than me and my housemate whose room was downstairs. And so I thought I was only quickly going to the bathroom, so I went there with I didn't have any clothes on. So I had to hide from my poor landlord. I was like peeking around the door to thank him and all that. And the thing is, I'd bought like a completely new outfit from Hollister that day. And just before, I'd gone downstairs in my dressing gown. Thank you very much. I wasn't completely naked. I'm not that weird. So I had to go downstairs and I brought all the clothes in and I put it in my room. Usually I put these kind of things off, but I didn't this time. And I tell you what, that bit me in the butt, because if I did have those clothes, I could have snuck downstairs. So there's a lot of windows in that house, but I could have snuck downstairs, crawled. My housemate was out for the day. I could have crawled and I could have got those Hollister clothes and I could have actually worn something. But no, I decided to actually be productive that day and actually bring things in. So of course I have to walk around fucking friggin' naked. I'm gonna have to cut that. Oh, I hate swearing, so I'm trying to like cut down my swearing in my videos so it's gonna be more family friendly and so YouTube will like me. But it's hard because I swear a lot. Moving downstairs, the master bedroom was downstairs, and that's where Lilith and Aoife are going to live. I kind of like, I struggled with the wallpaper a bit, and I struggled with the size of it, because it's massive, guys. I hate big houses. I don't know why I did this to myself, but I wanted to waste as much of my millions and millions as possible, and I didn't. I don't think I actually like went above 200,000 in this build. And I hate it. Why do I have to be so conservative with things? Like, at one point, I was so tempted as well to, I was so tempted to just put marble tiles on the porch. I almost did it just so I could have, like, a bit of extra money spent, but I didn't. I'm hoping that, like, something's going to happen and my Sims are just going to lose their wealth at some point and I can just go back to a nice, calm, trying to make our way in life thing, because at the moment I anticipate my videos being boring, because where's the struggle? I did some fun things with the lighting as well. So obviously to build up at the massive ceiling lights, the kind of circle saucer lights that everyone loves, but I like my lights to be realistic as well, so I was like playing around with that, and I put like a lot of wall lamps in, because when I think of like country houses I think of wall lamps. It's weird, but just bear with me. So yeah, so I had a lot of fun doing that, and you know what, I actually do like to play with like different types of lights in the house and that, and like make them set up. Surprisingly there aren't actually that many plants in my room either, in my house. I just think it's actually not that area of a house other than the conservatory, and I just personally think that it wouldn't be realistic to have all those plants in there, because like, how are they going to get sunshine and all that? But anyway, I'm moving on to the nursery, and I kind of got ahead of myself, and I just did a full nursery. You won't see me using any toddler bed other than that one from Eco Living. I think that's actually the main reason I bought that pack, was because I saw the videos with that toddler bed, and I don't know why, I'm just so in love with it. It's ridiculous. I also bought into the gender stereotypes and gave her a nice pink girly room. And I love that gingham wallpaper. I wish I had more of a chance to use that gingham wallpaper, but I don't usually. And am I saying gingham so much because I like saying the word gingham? Yes. I fell in love with the word when I had a character in Animal Crossing have a gingham shirt, like starting out, and I don't know why I loved it. I used to do this thing where I'd like answer the questions in the DS game, like as girly as possible, so I get like the girly pink hair and like the daisy dress, and then I'd call my character Bruce. I went through this phase where all my characters were just called Bruce. I like Batman, that's all I can say. Batman's one of my favourite superheroes. I think he's cool, and I think Superman's a bit boring because he's too powerful. That's just me. Actually, I don't. I like Superman. I like all superheroes, to be fair. I just, somehow superheroes always tend to have like some really great character development as well. As you can see, I also kind of didn't bother with doing any extra decorations in two of the rooms on the upstairs. I just took the lights out and left them. That's because they're not going to be used until my sim probably has more children, and I can just decorate them then as I want to. So I just, yeah. I mean, I was tempted to do what Little Simsy does as like a cheeky nod to her, but I don't want to be too much of a copycat, even though I kind of copy everything she does, and especially what Plumbella does, and especially what Fake Gamer Girl does. I mean, come on, like, they're my faves. Like, if you watch this video somehow, guys, please be my friend. Is that sad? Please don't ever watch these videos, because that's going to be very embarrassing. But I think I'd just like to meet them. I think they're very, very, very cool people, very cool ladies, so why not? But anyway, let me not gush about random YouTubers, even though I wish I could. I'm finally moving on to the outside, and of course I went around and I put the columns on the outside, because, I mean, what house is a house in The Sims without columns on the edges? They always look good. I did try to put them on the second floor as well, but they didn't quite work like that. So I just ignored that. I also did, as you can see, the dark brown aesthetic on the windows. I just wanted to point that out, because I love houses with dark brown windows. Because most houses obviously have white windows. I mean, mine has grey. It's weird. My flats are like, my whole building's quite a modern build. It was only built in like 2016 or something like that. So everything's quite new. My mum doesn't decorate with magnolia like most people do as like filler walls. My mum actually decorates with grey. So all our spare walls, it's not like got wallpaper on or grey. I've still got my sister's old wallpaper from when she lived here as well. So it's she's kind of got like this marble thing in like a marble feature wall in my room, and it's like, I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna remove that, and I'm gonna get something Art Deco there anyway to look nice. But that's for future Megan when she can actually be bothered to do some decoration as well. As you can see, I'm also building the greenhouse right now. I'm a bit slow, sorry guys. And it took me a while to choose like the windows, and I did actually try these windows on the house a while ago, but it didn't work. But I'm glad they worked here. And as you can see, I kind of put like those lights there as well. And I changed the colour to purple. Always play with your lights if you could. Because I wanted a nice UV light looking thing, like a growing room or something for her plants. And no, it's not like, you know, a weed growing room or anything like that. It's like, she plants flowers. Aoife likes flowers, so I thought if you're going to put lighting in a greenhouse, may as well put it like that. I don't want it to be completely dark at night, you know. And I love the windowed ceilings as well. I think they look amazing, so I appreciated having like the chance to do that as much as possible. To be fair, the greenhouse, I'm not too fond of it because it's like just a big box, and I don't like big boxes. I like to be a bit more organic and like the things, but you know what, that's fine. And as you can see there, the view in Henford on Bagley is absolutely stunning. This is probably, the newer worlds are amazing. Actually, all the worlds are amazing just for like the views. I didn't do too much in the garden. I wanted to like put more accessories and things like that in the garden. But to be honest, at this point I was recording for over 3 hours and I was exhausted. So I just put a few trees in there, did the dirt around the edges to make it look good. And then I put some hedges around the edges as well. I'm a bit early for that. Hedges around the edges, huh? Hedges around the edges. Cool. Anyway, I put some hedges around the edge of the house because, I mean, again, it's not a Sims build if you don't put hedges around the edges of your house, you know? And I thought it looked quite nice. So, there. It didn't end up being as bougie as I wanted it to be. Oh, also, I did put a little grave corner for my little grave. It didn't look as bougie as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to look like a fancy Tory country house, but it just kind of looked like a country farmhouse for like actual working farmers. Sorry guys, I got a bit cut off there. But yeah, this is the house, and let's have a quick little look around, shall we? Give me a while I get used to these bloody controls. They move so fast. They move so slow even, I should say. Quite frustrating. Just it's a bit faster. Oh, I hate how fast it moves sometimes. But yeah, let's go through the conservatory way first, and let's take a look at them. Excuse me, please move. Hello. Okay, so let's have a look in the conservatory anyway. Not the conservatory, the greenhouse, I should say. I think I've been calling it a conservatory this whole time. There are conservatories here. But as you can see, we've replanted all the plants that we had in the old house here. I've also added, I sold most of the plants, like the harvestables from those plants as well, but I have left a few little plants dotted about. I'm actually not going to build them, plant them right now, and I'm doing that basically because I'm going to upload this to the gallery as soon as this video is out. So once that happens, I am going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Once that happens, you guys can actually download it and you can start your Sims off gardening by just planting those things, you know. This is a little pond, and it's got all the turtles. If I press play, you can see all the animals around there, turtles standing on the log. Have some little duckies there, and to be honest, I'm just going to go through it like this because it's a bit of a nightmare to try and tab it because it's so bloody slow, and I apologise for that. Yes, going through the gate as well. I hate this gate. To be honest, I wish we didn't have this gate, but I needed some kind of gate that wasn't like absolutely tiny to go in the house. I wanted a big gate so it could look like, I don't know, a Jeep could like drive through or something like that, and you can actually drive through the gate to get in. So yeah, looking around, here's the outside of the conservatory, and again, I actually love the outside of this. It reminds me of my granny's old house, you know, before she went to her home. So going in, this is the bottom floor, nice L-shaped, and here's the conservatory. I hate this massive gap here. And I hate the way the sunlight comes through the windows as well. In real life, I'd love this. I love this kind of like latticing. I don't know why. It's not good for my sensory overload at all. But I just think it looks pretty, okay? And if it looks pretty, it's nice. I like aesthetics, okay? And again, here's that on the wall. I actually need to put a frame on that. Give me 2 seconds. Wait, no, I don't need to go on that for that. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to frame canvas. Cool. So now we've got frames on that, and it looks nice and even. I just realised that one's a bit uneven from that one. But oh well. I kept this painting because I think this painting's really pretty. I wish we could choose what paintings we made so I could like decorate with them fully. You didn't see me in the video, but I also put these nice massive June decorator curtains on. I absolutely love these curtains. I never really have a chance to use them because, again, most things are quite dark, so I don't have like that kind of space for it. But I love like the green. I love anything like green and pink themed. As you can see from my channel, it's green and pink themed. My favourite colour is pink. And I like the colour green because my eyes are green. I'm not sure if you can tell my eyes are green because they're really dark green as well, so you can't kind of like just can't make out the colour. I just noticed that's clipping the colouring as well, but you know what, I don't care. It's The Sims, everything's going to clip as well. This is the tabletop limb, so it's actually meant to go on top of a table, but I didn't have a table here, so I just put it on the ground, okay? This is the dining space, and I meant to put something on the centre of this table, but I never did. And I did choose to like have a little cellar area in this nook because we needed something to go there, and they're lesbians, so of course they're gonna like their wine. Lesbian traits are mainly wine and having a farm. That's like the lesbian dream, is to have a farm. For most lesbians, I can attest to that. I'd love to run a farm if it wasn't so much effort, and if I didn't like not waking not waking up early, even though I have to wake up early now for work, but I can wake up 15 minutes and start working because I work in my pyjamas. And if you're watching this, Scott, you cannot prove that I work in my pyjamas, so please don't accuse me of it. That's very rude, and I know it's unprofessional if I work in my pyjamas, and I could just be doing a bit for this show, you never know. Yeah, it's not perfect. The little pantry area is cute though. Again, they've got more wine because lesbians. They've also got their tea because lesbians and English. The broom area, and just to like harken back to when it was going to be a laundry nook, and these little bundles of herbs again because they're lesbians. Everything in this house, like any stylistic choice in making this house, the excuse is going to be because they're lesbians. I hope you know this. Okay, so this is the master bedroom as well, and I don't like how much space there is, but I like to think I use it nicely. I like this. I love using this little wardrobe because obviously there's multiple types of wardrobes, but this is the only one that only covers like one tile, if that makes sense, like this way. The others are all 4, and so it's not like as space saving as that one is, I suppose you could say. And of course I had to put like the wall around that because you can leave them loose, but it doesn't look right. They've got more space for their clothes because I like to think that's Lilith's area because Lilith looks like she'd be into like clothes. And I did start with like the pinkish wallpaper, but I wanted to keep like the slivering colours of this bed. I love the slivering aesthetic. I'm a Hufflepuff personally, but you know the green and silver is has a certain je ne sais quoi that I love. Oh my god, I cut it all out. I struggled so much with getting this light because I wanted it to be like hanging from the ceiling, but it wouldn't let me. So I had to use the 9 and 0 keys to do it, and it took me so long to try and get it like flush, and I never managed to do that. So I kind of just gave it up after the billionth time and left it like a bit more into the ceiling. But it's fine. It just means it's fitted in the ceiling. Kept the wall lamps throughout. There's nothing really exciting about this hallway. Probably should have put something here. I'm like looking at it and thinking I probably should have done this. Probably should have done that. But you know what? I can't be asked. I can't be asked to do more. I'm washing my hands of this. This is the nursery, and this is baby Ginny. She's a bit stinky right now, but she'll be fine. And it looks like she's got Aoife's skin tone, so good luck to her. Hopefully she does have the red hair and it doesn't turn out to be like brunette or something. But yeah, this is cute. Just toddler stuff. Moving on. Here's the office, and I actually really like this office as well. I had to put like a little seating area in there as well, so like, they could use these bookshelves, get some books off and sit down and relax. And there's the one computer in the house. I tried to put it away from everything else, so hopefully Sims won't autonomously go there as much. And I just realised that putting the tissues there, kind of suspicious what they're using the computer for. But you know what? Don't ask any questions, and you shall hear no lies. Also, we do have this because I figure sometimes I need to use this pack for something. So we have a little rat. Look at him, he's so cute as well. He looks so happy. Again, here's the bathroom, boring. And this bathroom also connects to this bedroom. No one lives in this bedroom. I have a feeling that that Ginny's going to move into this bedroom at some point. But she's... And I'm just going to keep this as a nursery for as much as possible and just like colour swap things if it's a different gender. Because I'm playing into the binary for this. I'm sorry. Yeah, ingrained habits are hard to get rid of, you know. And again, a nice big empty room. I actually quite like the shape of this room because it's big, but it's not like weirdly shaped, so you can actually get stuff in there. As you can see, I also put like these little markings on the like these little factory markings on the edges as well. I did that. I think I've got this on the porch as well, if I can find it. Yeah, I did that there as well. I like, even though that's an addition, so it kind of like conflicts with the canon I've built for this. I like to think that this was a like, I don't know, they made bread here or something in the past. I like to think that they did that, and so like this is a bygones. This is like an old Warburton's factory or something like that. Actually, I think Warburton's was the exact bread brand I had in mind when I was doing this. But anyway, that is the pond and that is the house. And you know what? I like this house. Okay, don't at me. It's a bit weird and some parts are like a bit clippy. You can go in and fix that if you want. It's probably going to bug me at some point, so I'll probably go in and fix that. But I'm not going to do it when I upload this to the gallery because I can't be bothered. But yeah, so I'm going to end this build here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know when my next video is coming out because I haven't actually got any plans for the next video. I would like to thank you guys for your responses to my cast overview for my wedding stories pack. It sounds a bit weird, but I got, and this is like not really something most people would brag about. I got 35 views so far on that cast overview with I got like an extra subscriber from it as well. I actually got an extra subscriber from the last video of my legacy challenge, so I thank all the people who've watched that as well. It's nice. Any slight bit of attention makes me happy. What would make me really happy is if you left a comment on this video. Just if you made it this far, just say something in the comments. You know what? I'm going to give you a password. I want you to say, tell me your Starbucks order, okay? Just tell me your Starbucks order. I'm going to tell mine. My go-to is usually a cinnamon iced latte. Sometimes I mix it up a bit and get a hazelnut iced mocha. I tend to get iced drinks. Don't judge me. They're just more refreshing to me, and I get them in any season, so you know what. But yeah, tell me what you get from Starbucks. You can also leave a like and subscribe if you really want. But I just want to hear what you order from Starbucks. You never know. Maybe I'll go into Starbucks and maybe I'll try that, and maybe it will become my new favorite drink. Who knows? I might actually copy all of you. You can also come say hi to me on Twitter. I am quite active on there actually. I post quite a bit, and I think I'm slightly funnier on Twitter than I am over here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am actually going to sign off and upload this to the gallery. Have a good day, yeah, and take care. Bye bye.